Okay. So when you look at this, you must know this is the larynx. Okay. But most important, you need to know this is the trachea. Okay, now what holds the trachea open? The trachea cannot collapse. If the trachea collapse, you will die. So the trachea must remain open. In order for the trachea, okay, let me write properly. I think it looks very messy. Trachea. In order for the trachea to remain open, what must it have? It must have bones like that. The bones on the trachea like that. The bones on the trachea are the soft bones, like your nose. They are known as cartilage. Okay, you know this bone here? This bone here? Okay, the same bone is on your cartilage so that the trachea remains open. Okay, can? Okay, so to have a little bit of context, this is the same as this is the outside. Okay, to give you context, this is on the outside. Your bones that you're looking at is on the inside. Okay, can? So this is the whole thing covering it, and this is the inside. Okay, now this is obviously your lungs lah. Okay, this part here, when you look like this part here is called your rib cage or your rib, the bones, which is the same as this one. So this is your ribs lah. Okay, this is your rib. Okay, now what happens is, have you eaten the chicken that's this part? The chicken, this part here? Chicken not only got chicken wing and drumstick, got this part, I've never eaten before.
The not
OMG.
juicy.
The non-juicy part.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, so this part. You also have that. It's the same thing. So in between here got meat, right? In between here got meat. So this, what is meat actually? Meat is actually muscle. So this part, the meat part, is called intercostal muscle. So maybe you should write it on this paper also. And this bone here is called the sternum.
still have it already soon.
No, there's one thing at a time. Right. Okay. Okay, so the intercostal muscle got two layers. Okay, this is the muscle, right? This is the bones, right? The muscle, there's two layers. There's one layer on the outside and one layer on the inside. Do you want to see here? Sure. Okay. There's one layer on the inside and one layer on the outside. The layer on the outside is called external intercostal muscle, and the one on the inside is called the internal intercostal muscle. So if you look at this, there's two layers. The one on the outside is external intercostal muscle, and the one on the inside is called the internal intercostal muscle. As a student, do you prefer weekday classes or weekend classes? I know, okay, of course, as a student, the first thing you prefer is no classes lah. But then, if you have to take a class, do you prefer weekend or weekday?
Weekday.
Weekday, yeah. Weekend, why?
If like your PWA score runs and you have to go with that train.
Okay, true. So yeah, everything has processed. You're the first person to say weekend. Everybody else says weekday. Because weekend they just want to party. All right. So this is your lungs. Right? Okay, what organ is this? This organ is your heart. Okay. So if you look back at this diagram, okay, your lungs are on the inside here. Here is your lungs on the inside here, and your heart is behind the sternum. Okay, at the back, at the back. So here's your lungs at the back, and your heart is at the back of the sternum. Make sense? Okay, so of course the bones must be outside lah. If the bones are on the inside, then you got a very dangerous genetic disease lah. Okay?
What part was on the left side?
No, but yeah, but then what happens is like you see like that, it's just slightly to the left, but it's not like entire thing. It's like, yeah, because the heart is not round, it's cone shape. So it has to be slightly to the left like that. Okay, can I understand? All right. So what happens is there are two kinds of cells that line the inside. So this is the inside of the trachea. These cells, so if this is the trachea, right? Okay, so the trachea is like this, right? These cells are like that here. Can I understand? So there are two kinds of cells. So over here, it looks like that, very hairy, but in a diagram, it basically just looks like this in a diagram. And there's another one which looks like this. Okay? All right. So that you will see two kinds of cells. These that you see here are called the ciliated cells. And this one is called a goblet cell. Have you learned this before? Have you learned this chapter before? But have you learned different specialized cells?
No, I
It's the first chapter, first or second chapter only of your book. It's about like special cells, red blood cell, white blood cell. Then you learn about ciliated cell, root hair cell. Okay, never mind, I teach you now. Okay, so goblet cell. Wait, let me write properly. Goblet cell and ciliated cell. Okay, so what happens here is goblet cell will release mucus. This goblet cell will make mucus. Okay, goblet cell makes mucus. Mucus traps dust and bacteria. Okay, so the mucus will trap the dust and the bacteria, and the ciliated cell here will push the mucus out. So let's say here's the mucus. Okay, the ciliated cell here will push mucus out or away from the lungs. Okay,
you take double L or one
one L, one L.
It's like the whole thing, including the hairy parts.
The hairy part is the cilia.
Um,
Okay, can? All right. Now, this this is actually over here, inside here. We have alveoli. Do you remember what this is? Okay, so wait, I don't know whether I printed it out for you. Thing. Okay, never mind. Can you try and do the question first? Try and read the question and see what you do it, whether you can do it.
Which one?
This one. This one. See what you can do. Okay. Don't worry if you have stuff you don't understand. I'll discuss in a while. Okay?
Basically, I was asking why people shouldn't smoke. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to discuss in 2 minutes, okay? Can you do me a favor? Can you go get some the paper I just printed out? Oh, okay. So let's look at this. Okay. This is the ciliated cell, right? Okay. Now, name the structures labeled A. So cilia. Okay. To push mucus away from the lungs.
Miss, may I borrow your pen?
Yes, yes, yes. And someone who. Thank you. Okay, each person take one of this. I think it's single. Yeah. No, let's see. Are you double?
It's two separate.
Okay, let's take it. Then. It's in sequence with it, is it?
Um, hope so. Yeah.
Okay, you know, answer. Done.
Oh, Miss, no paper.
Let me just use this. Let me just use this.
Oh, there is. Wait.
No, come on. Come, just use this. Um, Let's just pass to me. Pass this down. Okay, take a look at the paper I just only sent to you. Okay, I'm gonna, so you have to see it's all connected to each other. Okay, so this is what I just gave you, right? What I just gave you, right? Okay, so this is called an alveolus. This one, it's called an alveolus. So this is this. Okay, so just now you know the lungs. You know, just now got the lungs, right? This is the trachea. Okay, the trachea brings the air into the lungs. Like that. Correct? This is the lungs, huh? What happens is trachea splits into left and right side because you got two lungs, what left and right. This is known as bronchus. Okay. Now inside here, it will split again to small ones. These are called bronchiole. And at the end of each bronchiole, it splits into this. So this is the bronchiole. This thing here is the bronchiole. Bronchiole. So the biggest one is the bronchus, then bronchiole. So at the end of the bronchiole, these round things are called the alveolus. Alveolus is for singular. Alveoli is for plural. Can you write this on where this paper is? So it's all connected to each other. Okay, can I answer? Okay, so surrounding it, This thing here is blood capillary. Okay. Surrounding this is all blood capillary. All right.
Bronchial.
This is the bronchial. I was just writing it bigger for you. This bronchial is this thing here. So it's bronchus and then bronchial, this part here. Ah, it's also bronchial. This is the enlarge. This is where it is. Get it? Okay. If I want to enlarge it even bigger, if I want to enlarge it even bigger, it's this diagram. Get it? So this whole thing is one alveolus. Okay? And this whole thing is one blood capillary. Okay? So from the air, oxygen will be carried, oxygen will diffuse into the blood, into the red blood cell. And then the other direction, carbon dioxide will diffuse out like that. Okay, do you understand? Get it? Get it? All right. So when we draw it like this, okay, so this is, why is it look like this here? This is alveolus lah. This B is the alveolus. It's just a different direction. Can you understand? Look at it. This one here, this direction is the alveolus. It's just a different, uh, it's just a different, looking from up or looking from down. Okay? Okay. Get it? Can I? All right. So now, okay, name the structure B. So alveoli lah, because it's plural, right? Describe the changes to structure label B that were caused by tobacco smoke and explain the possible effect of a smoker this will change. Okay, so let me show you a diagram, okay? So if you look at this, a smoker, of course, the lungs will be blackened lah, because smoking puts what in your lungs? Tar, carbon monoxide, nicotine. It's a lot of stuff, but now what we're going to do is we're going to look inside. So if you look inside, right? Okay, gee, where did it go? Ah, okay. This is a disease alveoli. Okay, this, Mama, where did it go? Where did it go? Oh no, oh no, where did it go? Okay, this is a healthy one. Yeah, let me find another nicer one. Okay, so basically, what happens is the surface area larger or smaller? Smaller. Okay, there, this is perfect. Okay, let's look at this. Oh my goodness, where did it go? Why the pictures can just disappear like that one? What this? I'm trying to show you something nice, but cannot find. Okay, anyway, basically, a healthy lung, uh, mm, so, this, okay, tada. Okay, so this is bronchial, remember bronchial? It's the alveoli, nice and healthy and round. This one, it's all flattened. So what does this mean? Larger surface area or smaller surface area? Smaller surface area, and that's the problem. Okay, so healthy one is like that. Healthy. The disease one will become like that, or even like that. Okay, so describe the changes in the structure and explain the possible effects. Okay, so the alveoli loses its structure. This causes less surface area. You want to go wash your face? Less surface area. Okay? Yeah, go. Do you want to go get water? Sure. Okay. Hmm? Yes, yes, yes. Go. Everybody go drink water, go.
It's already full now.
Not yet, not yet.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Outline two reasons why many people regard smoking as socially unacceptable. Why? Addictive. Okay, what is addictive in it? It's the nicotine that is addictive, huh? Called secondhand pollution. Do you secondhand smoke? Do you know what secondhand smoke? Secondhand smoke is when I breathe out. I'm the smoker, I breathe out. So secondhand smoke is more dangerous than the smoker itself. Affects other people. Okay? Can you understand? Okay. All right. So that's this paper. Okay. We're not yet finished. I will talk about the rest later. Okay. This paper. Oh wait, not this paper. This paper. This paper. Okay. So circle O to show the position of the heart. I show you already. So O, position of the heart is here. X to show the position of the liver. So the liver is actually below the diaphragm. Okay. And a diaphragm appears immediately after breathing in. When you breathe in, right? The diaphragm is flattened. Okay, when we breathe in. Okay, so it's like this. This thing is called a diaphragm. It is a muscle separating the top and the bottom part of your body. Okay? So when you breathe in and breathe out, this is what happens. Okay, ready? All right. So, Aisa, now, when you want to breathe in, okay, when you want to breathe in, your external intercostal muscles contract, okay? And your diaphragm also contracts, okay? So here's your external intercostal muscle and here's your diaphragm. So what it does is it pulls the ribs go up and the diaphragm will flatten. So now here inside the lungs, the volume is very big and the pressure is low. So it will force the air from the outside to go inside. Get it? This is called breathing in. Can? Got it? All right. Now, can I? All right. So when you breathe out, the opposite happens. Everything goes smaller. Okay. So your diaphragm relaxes and curves. Your internal intercostal muscles contract. Okay. Internal intercostal muscles contract. And your diaphragm relaxes and curves. So what happens here is inside here, the pressure is very high because the volume now is very small. And it's like a balloon being pushed. So your air is pushed out. Can I understand? Can? Ready? Is that? What's it? Okay. All right, so this shows the handle of bucket from position A. It's just that every you're so scared. You got no ends in Korea, is it? Cockroach also you all scared, ant also you all scared. You all want to survive in Malaysia. Okay. Shows a position of a hand A to position B. This movement of bucket shows the movement of person's chest while breathing in. So this is the ribs lah. This is supposed to show the ribs. Breathe in, breathe out. Then two similarities. Okay. So ribs move up, ribs move person's chest out. Okay, so it moves up and out. Okay, can explain the differences between the movement's chest movement on the handle. Okay, for answer a lot, man. So it does not show the movement of the diaphragm when breathing in. This is breathing in or breathing out? In. Okay. Okay. When breathing in, the diaphragm will contract and flatten. Okay. It does not show and it does not show the changes in volume of the whole thoracic cavity. Do you know what's thoracic cavity or thorax? That means the entire part inside your lungs, inside your ribs and your diaphragm, that whole thing is called thorax or thoracic cavity. When breathing in, the volume of thorax increases. Okay, it only shows one handle. The rib, the chest has many ribs. Can? Do you understand? Yeah. Okay. You ready? Yes, I will. Mm. Okay, ready? Okay, so so not yet. This one. This one we do halfway. This one. Okay, that's it. Okay, can you do the two questions here? The questions here? It's 2 pages. Okay. Okay, done? Ready? Okay. The diagram shows a cross section through a alveolus and capillary. Okay. Why does oxygen move from P to Q? Okay, so the movement is diffusion. The concentration of oxygen in the blood is lower than the air in the capillary B. Okay. Some amphibians, such as frogs, use their skin as gas exchange. Why are most likely characteristics of the surface of the skin of these amphibians? Surface area has to be large, and the type of skin has to be very thin. Okay? When the diaphragm relaxes, and so this is what I taught you just now. Lah. Okay, when the diaphragm relaxes and the uh, internal intercostal contract, how does the volume and pressure? So the pressure increases and the volume decreases. So C. Get it? Do you understand now? This is breathing out. Uh,
I don't really
internal. So it's internal contract, and diaphragm relax is breathing out. Okay, so this is to breathe out. Okay. All right, last question. Where would the carbon dioxide concentration be the highest? Concentration of carbon dioxide is D, because pulmonary artery brings deoxygenated blood. Okay. All right, I'm giving you each one more paper on sun respiration. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so uh, the type of tissue, cartilage. This is the first thing I taught you. Remember at the trachea, the rings here, it's called cartilage. Remember? All right. Uh, Nasal cavity, trachea, Okay, so what is one is intercostal muscle. Okay, I'm not going to go up and down now. So one is intercostal muscle. Two is rib or rib cage. Three is diaphragm. Four is bronchus. Five is bronchiole. Six is alveolus. Okay.
For the second one, can I write external?
The first one, you mean?
Like the first one I wrote internal, and then the second one I wrote external.
No, 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 no. It's two different things. Yeah. The big, big, fat, fat, round, round one is the ribs.
Oh,
Like just now, like that. Let's see the there. There. So the round, round one, the one that's a circle is usually the rib. Usually, if they don't draw clearly, they will give either one.
okay.
Where we are? Where's the question? No. What's the question?
I think it
Oh,
is.
this one. Okay. So, uh, oh, like that only. Okay, okay. All right. So this one discussed. Okay, that was fast. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to talk about digestive system. Yay, digestive system. Yay. Okay. Go back to this picture. This one is from this one. From this paper. The third one. Yeah. Okay. Can? Right. Now, have you learned already? Okay, yeah, I've taught you twice already. Okay, so let's look at this. State the stages in the human nutrition that's not been included in the list. So, assimilation. Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about this and this. This one also you have, right? You have this also, right? Okay. No, no. We start with this first. Start with this first, okay? So, this is your mouth. So, we start with the mouth. Okay. So, the mouth is for chewing, right now. All right. The mouth also releases amylase. And amylase converts starch to maltose. Correct? Okay? Okay. Now, this tube here is called the esophagus. Please don't confuse esophagus with trachea. Trachea is for air. Esophagus is for food. Okay? Correct. Now, this is the stomach. So the stomach has two things lah. Okay? Of course, the stomach has hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is to do what? Kill bacteria, denature enzymes of bacteria. Because sometimes the bacteria already spoiled the food and then you heat it up. The enzymes already there. So enzymes of bacteria. And the third one is prepare pH. What? Stomach is pH? 2. Okay, and then in your stomach, the second thing you have is pepsin, which changes protein to what? Amino acid. Do you remember? So you cannot sort of remember, sort of don't remember. Okay, it's very dangerous. Okay, can? All right, now what happens after that is the food from the stomach goes to this part here. This part here is called the duodenum. Now, the problem with duodenum, okay, the problem with duodenum is duodenum cannot have enzymes. So duodenum needs to import enzymes. The second problem is from the stomach, what's coming here? What's coming here is very acidic. It's very, very acidic. So what it needs to do is it needs to neutralize the acid. So here is the liver. So liver will make bile. And then what is this thing here? Okay. The liver will make bile. This thing here is called the gallbladder. It is to store bile. Okay. And what does bile do? The bile is released into the duodenum. So the bile will neutralize acid and it will emulsify fat, okay, to increase surface area. Okay, ready? Can? All right, now what happens here is, what is this organ called? Pancreas. So this is the pancreas. So pancreas will send things also to the duodenum. So from the pancreas to the duodenum, you got 3 enzymes. Amylase, same as just now, correct? Lipase, which will change lipid or fat to fatty acid and glycerol. And finally, trypsin, that will also change from protein to amino acid. Okay. Can? All right. So now here, it continues to the other parts of the ileum where it releases maltase, which digests maltose to glucose. And so now here it goes into the large intestines. All right. Okay. Can you please try and do this question, this paper, and this paper, this one, just now this one left halfway. Okay, can you try and do this and this, please? All right, so oh, use the lines label A and B to indicate where in egestion means go to the toilet, A, and ingestion means to eat here. Okay, can see? All right. Say the component of diet that is digested in region C. Region C is stomach. So protein products are absorbed in the ileum. Absorption all happens in the ileum. Okay? Okay, suggest the likely effect of digestion and removing a person's gallbladder. So gallbladder stores what? I just told you just now. Stores bile. Stores bile that is released into the into the duodenum. Okay. Bile is to neutralize stomach acid and emulsify fat. Without bile, the pH in the duodenum will be too low and lipase, trypsin, what's the third one? And amylase cannot function. So starch, protein, and fats cannot be digested properly. The fat cannot be emulsified, so the surface area is of fat is small, leads to slow fat digestion. Okay, ready? Okay. Okay, have you all done this one? Yes, Okay, so produces acidic secretion is R because the stomach is here. Contains villi. Villi is for the small intestine. So where is it? S. Digest protein. Protein is digested in the stomach. R. This is okay. Okay. Produces insulin is the pancreas. So R. Contains bronchi. Bronchi is your lungs. So Q. Secretes amylase. Amylase is your mouth. So P. And also pancreas R. Ingest food is where the food you eat is P. Okay. Can? Why most food eaten by humans must be digested? Why? So humans eat large, complex molecules that are insoluble in water. Okay? These molecules are too large to be absorbed. So digestion breaks it down to small soluble molecules that can be absorbed into the blood. Okay. All right. Then, okay, which is writing. Describe the reference to the function and name substances produce, importance of each of the following organs. Okay, liver produces what? Bile. Liver produces bile. So bile emulsifies fat to increase surface area for faster digestion by lipase. Bile prepares alkaline pH 8 for which is the optimum pH of lipase. Okay. Okay. All right, ready? Pancreas. Pancreas releases amylase to digest starch. Releases trypsin to protein to amino acids. Okay, starch to what? Maltose. Okay, and then what's the last one? Releases lipase to digest fats to fatty acid and cholesterol. Okay, can? Is that all? All right. Okay, ready? Can? All right, now, are you done from just now? Question done? Okay, so this one you can do in like 3 seconds. Okay, can you do this? Do this part. Like 3 seconds can do already. Okay, ready? So, liver, bile, uh, yeah, pancreas, insulin, converts glucose to glycogen and is a starch. Okay, can? All right, we have, okay, last one. Last one, last one. Don't need to do the whole thing. Don't need to do the whole thing. Just do the top question. Okay? Just do the top question. You all got this right? Got right, got this paper right. Good or not? Good or not? Very free, no. You're very lucky actually. Tidak. Good or This one done. This one discuss. This one done. I know what you all are going to say. I'm just going to do slowly and check first. Wait, wait. I know what you all are going to say. Wait, wait. Okay, and then. Gila, 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 gila. Okay, any questions? Yes. Other than that. Okay, wait. Okay, wait.